Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. In Hebrews chapter 11 verses 24 through 26, we read about a decision that Moses made. He made the decision to suffer ill treatment with the people of God rather than to enjoy the passing pleasures of Egypt. And on the surface, we might wonder, what is it that would cause Moses to make such a decision? Because typically a person wouldn't make such a decision. If given the choice between being ill-treated and hardships and trials, and then also whether to live a good life of comfort and with plenty of riches and wealth and those sorts of things, a person would naturally, perhaps, or we'd expect a person to naturally just choose the good life. But he didn't. And there's a reason why he chose what he chose, and it's brought out in these verses. It says, and this is a key statement in this section, it says, "For he was looking to the reward." The reward made all the difference for Moses. Yes, just everything equal, perhaps Moses would have considered himself better off staying in Egypt and not going through all the troubles that he went through in leading the Israelites. But it says that he looked to the reward, and that made all the difference. That is, he saw that the reward was much, or the reward much compensated for the hardships and the trials that he would endure. And that reward would keep him motivated to make this particular choice. And we see this all the time. People oftentimes suffer for the sake of some type of reward. We might think about athletes who train real hard. They adhere to strict diets oftentimes, and they go through seasons of very difficult times in which they wear themselves out training, getting ready, but it's for a reward. It's so that they can win the championship or the gold medal or whatever it is that they're striving for. We could think about students who endure long nights studying and taking tests, and the money that's involved in going to college. They endure all that. Why? For the reward of earning a degree. We could also think of mothers. Childbearing, of course, is a very painful thing, and yet mothers do it all the time. They go through that difficult 9 months and then the labor pains that are involved. Why? Because they want to acquire a child. They want to have a child. And they see that reward as overriding the suffering that might be involved. That might be involved. And so, struggling with suffering, we see here with Moses, but we also see it every day in our everyday lives. Struggling is much more easier when we're doing it for a reward. And we're more likely to suffer if we have a reward in mind. And so as we think about this in relationship to Christ, we could say, if ever we're having a hard time being dedicated to Christ, if ever we're having a hard time suffering for Christ, we're having a hard time making those difficult decisions between what feels good, what's comfortable, what's pleasurable, and being faithful to Christ, and we're struggling with that, perhaps we need to focus more on our reward. Maybe it would do us some good to focus on just what we have to look forward to if we endure such sufferings. The Apostle Paul did that in 2 Corinthians chapter 4. He said that the momentary light affliction was producing for him an eternal weight of glory. And that's where his mindset was, and that helped him to endure those difficulties and trials. And so that can help us as well. So today, perhaps it'd be good for us to kind of sit back and reflect on what are some of the rewards that we look to in Christ. Things such as eternal life, things such as eternal bliss, things such as the resurrection. All of those things can be motivation for us to say, I'm willing to suffer for a little bit to bypass some passing pleasures that I might enjoy on this earth, because I'm looking to the reward. I know that God has better things for me in the future, and that's where I have my eyes fixed. So here's some things we can reflect on and think about as we do our reading today. With that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.